In late December, I organized a contest where people submitted original species they created. 33 people submitted species, 16 of which were seeded into the tournament and won. This was one of the species that was submitted, and low-key, it's kinda nuts. This species has so much lore, great art, and depth that once I show it to you, you'll probably be surprised that I didn't cover it sooner. By the way, make sure you stick around to the end of this time because I remembered to do Viewer of the Week and I remembered to show fan art. Also, I started another channel where I put all my more adult-themed videos at, so check out youtube.com/@SeraTalksTooMuch so you don't miss out on furry content, icebergs, stream highlights, and other stuff that doesn't really work here on Sera's Things. Howdy herd and hello everybody else. This video is about one of the species from the tournament. They actually came in second place. These are Absukians. And let's start where the Absukians did, in the beginning, the story of their creation. Origins. 1,000 years ago, where the night sky was clear and shining with a silver glow of stars, more of these stars appeared until one in particular shone brighter than the rest. Soon, that light changed into a being draped in white silk clothing. She was the goddess Zuluna, the creator of the first Absukians. Zuluna went to the ocean where all the sea-dwelling creatures lived. She spied sharks coming up from the ocean to watch and stare at her. She approached them and touched them one by one. As they began to glow, they changed into a new strange creature, taking on the weird shape of humanoid creatures. Each one appeared different than the last, and we're told, when the day of twilight fall happens, you will be given a gift. A child that will usher in the new generation. Now stake claim to the land where your heart leads. The new beings were confused, and yet they obeyed. They left, discovering new sights with each step they took across their new home. As they grew, they felt emotions that were new and strange to them. Love, and with that, they created new families. Then came the day of twilight fall. The people once again changed and evolved anew. They created their first language, then civilization, and as they did so, they and their minds grew, evolving and becoming an intelligent species, becoming the Absukians they are today, and then split, staking claim to new lands and regions of their own. These ancients looked very different from the creatures they are today. They weren't fully ready to live on land when Zuluna made them, but despite their struggles, they adapted. They made up for their disadvantages with wisdom and wit. Absukians are an aquatic shark-like species that look like shark girls mixed with Zora from Legend of Zelda, and they were created and are owned by @ChewChubsy on Twitter. It's funny about the Zora thing, I typed that before I actually read further, where it actually does say that they're for sure inspired by Zora, so I just thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, if you're interested in reading absolutely everything about this species, I've linked their website in the description. This website, by the way, is incredible. It was all made in card, which is free, so anyone can host their species here, and they absolutely should. It's definitely way better than hosting it on Amino. If you want people to join your community, they need a place where they can get all the info in one spot, and I think card is probably the best place you can do it for free. So what are Absukians? They are humanoid alien sharks that is the most modern evolution of their species that came from fish-like aliens who lacked limbs, and only recently evolved mammalian traits like humanoid bodies and mammalian-like ears. They're also hot because they're shark girls, and everyone knows shark girls are in the top 5 for the hottest fursona species, only competing with synths. There is a lot to go over here, so this might sound a bit list-like, but there are 4 regional variants with different physical attributes like additional fins, different body shapes, different markings, and other unique attributes. These variants can also be crossbred to get specific traits you want. They also have a ton of info on this site that's all well organized, like a feral form, culture, reproduction, religion, deities, massive lore, bases, and more. I'll be going over all of it here, but you might want the website as a reference for when you make your own, and you will because the species is open as long as you follow all the species rules. Also, make sure you don't make an Absukian deity. More details on that later. Standard features. Before we go into the variants, we have to go over the standard features. These features make up the baseline from which the variants deviate. Feet. Every Absukian has 5 fingers and toes with webbing between each digit. At the end of each digit is sharp claws that are slightly translucent. Under each foot is paw pads, as well as sometimes on their palms and fingertips. Another weirdly mammalian adaptation for this species. The inner toe on each foot also sports a flexible raptor-like claw. Why am I going over feet first? It's because it's first on the species guide, but I'm also trying to appeal to the feet lovers demographic. Beards. Absukians have developed many traits that one would consider typically mammalian, and beards are one such trait. While beards don't consist of increased density of hair on the face area, they do grow mock facial hair that are similar to the frills found elsewhere on their body. Not exactly a beard, but close enough to be called one. Eyes. These shark babs have some absolutely banger eyes. Not only do they have a nasate... Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Nictitating.
Yeah, what he said. These shark babs have some absolutely banger eyes. Not only do they have a nictitating membrane that keeps the eyes moist like a backup eyelid that's also clear, but they have scotopic vision and an improved... Why did they use so many science words?
We are looking at how to pronounce these names as tapetum lucidum.
Okay. And an improved tapetum lucidum, which means they see super well in dark conditions. They're also aesthetically pleasing with a large variety of eye color and sclera color. Southern Absukian even break the rules a bit by being the only variant with a dark sclera. Ears. As previously mentioned, Absukian ears are a recent evolutionary trait, and each variant has grown very different looking ears from the others. The Eastern have their elven style, the Northern have their goblin-like ears, the Western have a droopier goblinoid style that are huge, and they've developed this as a result of their adaptation to hot climates and work like giant vents, allowing them to stay cool. And the Southern have the longer and sharper, fancier elf ears. Frills. As mentioned in beards, Absukians don't grow your standard hair, but they're not bald either. Absukians grow frills on their head that can grow out and look like kind of like a maid's headdress, like, you know, a French maid outfit headdress kind of thing. It's like that, but they can grow out long and can even be styled or dyed, and I'll go over how they do that soon. Bioluminescent tongues. These suckers are up to 12 inches long. They could French you and snatch your lunch from your stomach all at the same time. As the title suggests, they also glow, and their tongues are slimy and glossy. If that still isn't enough, they're so muscular and are incredibly prehensile. Look at them. They look like saying a tongue twister might actually tie their tongue into a literal knot. These choices had to be a deliberate horny choice because goddamn. That was all the basic stuff, but before we continue, we've got an ad read.
Here on Sera's Things, we love one thing, and that's art and creativity, and our sponsor does too. That's why Marvel Snap is sponsoring the video in our streams this week. Marvel Snap is an awesome phone game that features cards and art based on your favorite superheroes and villains with all the same depth and strategic gameplay that you've come to expect from the card game genre. There's so many Marvel characters here that you might even discover a new fave that hasn't had its chance on the silver screen yet. The gameplay is super simple. You have a deck of 12 cards and 3 locations. Each turn you get 1 energy and you play the cards on your location. Whoever has the most power on a location wins, and whoever is first to the 2 locations wins the game. The depth, however, comes from how you build your deck and the effects of your cards. Some will give you more energy, allowing you to play stronger cards. As you can tell, we've gotten pretty into it for the past few days, and it takes what Sera loves. Games like Magic the Gathering, board games like Smash Up, and Marvel Heroes and Princesses in a fast format. If you want to play the award-winning Marvel Snap and support the channel for free, then check out the first link in the description or check the pinned comment. Thanks for watching the ad, and thanks even more if you actually downloaded and played Marvel Snap through our special link.
That was all the basic stuff. Now we're going to dive into hair and then variants. Absukian, as mentioned, don't have your standard hair. Instead, they have these appendages and frills that make mock hair, like how the Squid Kids and Octarians are in Splatoon. Just tentacles, fins, and frills that serve the general purpose of hairstyles. Absukian appendages can make the appearance of any hairstyle, just keep in mind the texturing. The hair would have a smooth sheen akin to tentacles or shark skin. Absukians who are looking to freshen up their frills can do so thanks to the Zimda fruit. Inside the Zimda fruit is a pit that can be ground up and turned into a powdered dye. This dye takes the color appearance of the fruit of its origin and can be mixed into many new styles. This dye even changes its strength based on the age of the fruit, The older the fruit, the milder the color strength. Absukians have no restriction on the color of their skin. You can go as sparkle dog and eye-piercingly neon as you like. Alright, let's get started with the variants. The variants, or subspecies of Absukian, are organized by their regional differences that are tied to the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. Eastern are from Tiomati, and is the first subspecies and the most common. Their defining features are their variable snouts being long, short, or pointed, and have hip fins. They also possess the standard traits of webbed hands, feet, and frills. They're known for the Tiomati swim tourneys. Southern are from Larumo and have sharper claws, ankle fins, dark slayer, and are viewed as the hardier and beefier subspecies. Because of this, they are often seen as being scarier, or hotter if you're a weirdo like me, and intimidating, but also hot. Their dark slayer make them even more capable hunters in low light to dark vision, and are the only nocturnal subspecies. Western are from Astu. They're the shortest. They have fins on their forearms, many have facial markings akin to a mask, and huge ears that are used to vent off the heat from their native environment. They're also the most friendly towards outsiders. Our last regional variant is the Northern Absukians from Iponi. The Northern Absukians are viewed as noble and elegant. Their eyes are typically slanted. They stand at the same height as Eastern, and many have pelvic fins, but there are just as many who don't have them at all. They tend to have large earlobes that they typically pierce and put gauges in to stretch the lobe size even further. That might have been all the regional variants, but we have more variants that aren't tied to regions, so buckle up. Quadrupedal Absukians. Some Absukians can shapeshift at will into a 4-legged feral-like form. This form was previously thought of to only exist in tales and legends until the zoologist Vi discovered them. There isn't too much proof of their existence still, so they're marked up as myths. Absukians that can shapeshift, once shapeshifted, are somewhere between feline and canine in appearance. The main shape of their body resembles canids, but with a strong, fat tail used to maintain balance and propel them through the sea while swimming. They also possess large cat-like slit pupils with great night vision, 5 digits on each foot, and strong hind legs used to jump high like a cat. Other than that, they're not too dissimilar from their bipedal counterparts. Baby Absukians. Absukians are viviparous, and so have live births, like some sharks and most mammals do. Newborns breastfeed for the first 2 weeks, then develop teeth at 1 month old, and at which point, they move on to the staple Absukian diet of meat and fish. Later, they develop their frills and signature glow-in-the-dark tongue. If you're curious what they sound like, it sounds like this. Absukians are kids from ages 1 to 4. Their teen years starting younger at only 9 years old, and become an adult at 17. They are considered a full-grown adult at age 20. Then, at this point, their aging slows down until they hit 70, where they resume aging like a normal human. Their total lifespan ranges from 90 to 150 years, with Westerners living on the longer side. Ancient Absukians. This variant is actually a work in progress, so there isn't any art on the site related to them, but we still have the lore on them. And that lore I read to you already at the beginning of the video. The creation myth I read at the beginning was from this section. But I think creation myths make a much stronger opener, so you already heard this part if you watched the beginning. Divine Absukians. These are special Absukians, and they are absolute units, averaging 9 feet tall or 3 meters, and are referred to as the Divine by Absukians. They live for 600 years, more than 4 times as long as the average Absukian. They make appearances in tales, legends, myths, and children's books. Despite their otherworldly size and lifespan, they take on the physical appearance of one of the 4 regional variants marked with the divine symbol on their body. These symbols can represent the elements or virtues like wealth, fortune, happiness, and concepts like that. But whether that symbol plays into the design of the divine is up to the owner. Currently, divines can only be obtained from adopts, auctions, or commissions from Chubsy. So basically, normal regional variant Absukians are open and you can make your own, or sell them, but divines are a closed variant that can only be bought through Chubsy. And with that, we are done with the variants. But if you thought we were done, I think you should take a look at the timer on the bottom of the screen, because we still got a little bit more to go. This didn't take so long to make just for funsies. We have absolutely huge lore to go through next. And we'll continue with that after this ad read.
The only thing we love here more than art is artists, which is why we're happy to show off fan art and cool projects in our videos. So of course we're happy to share our favorite sponsor, Daveasour Art. They're super cool and have helped this channel out a lot by making adopts for Sera's species, making her stills for videos and thumbnails, and buying ad space in the past. If you're looking to commission some of the coolest Earthican art you should check out their Twitter. But if you're fresh out of funds, you can still thank Daveasour by checking out their YouTube, where they do animation memes and cool videos like the ones where you'd redesign some of the lamer looking Pokemons. Thanks for watching the ad, and back to Sera.
Lore. The lore page here says there is more to come and that it's still a work in progress, but you'll see that there's still plenty here. Locations. Rutototo Market. The namesake of this market means buzzy in the Absukian Kivnana language. The name is a perfect fit, as this market in Agastu is also poppin'. They sell everything here like fruits, veggies, and the spices that are important to the culture of the Western Absukians. Like many street markets, there are lots of opportunities here for delicious street foods like grilled jumbo naan with tomato and amidosendi spice. Jumbo naan is a small fish with 8 eyes and a dark orange body with light green accents and long fins. When grilled, it's very crunchy and savory. The green spice it's adorned in is amidosendi, and it is quite hot. Awi Lakeside. This large lake in the Iponi region is bustling with wildlife, and it's known for its massive waterfalls. Tourists come here from all around just across the bridge that shows off these falls. Pomdum Park. A small park in Tiomati. It's a nice little date spot the locals love for its beautiful view. Its name means peaceful. Crimson Civet River. The namesake of this river is Civet, named after the one who discovered it, and the crimson comes from the gleam of the red crystals at the bottom of the riverbed. This results in the water appearing a sanguine color. These stones are called estless and are sold for a high price in the Iponi region. Land of Igrosin is the last stop on our sightseeing tour of the Absukian homeworld. Here, nestled in the southern region, is a wide-spanning network of ruins. The main draw of this place is the half-broken statues of Igroshin, a knight wielding a large sword who freed the regions from the raging titans. His glory stands with his statue as a memorial of his sacrifice. People still come here to pray to him in thanks. Titans are massive monsters that are disguised as mountains, hills, rocks, and trees that roam Tarmica. They will usually only attack if someone invades their territory. Despite the occasional destruction they can wreak, they are still seen as important guardians of nature. Rage Titans, however, are Titans who have caught the Red Fever, a rare disease that makes a Titan rampage and attack anything it finds. Absukians will evacuate cities when they arrive, and the guard will take care of them using electrical barriers and pitfall traps. The only way to calm them down is to trank them with a special medicine made from crystals and gems, which is not a hard task due to the absolute size of these units. A nation is nothing without its people, though, and you can see Absukians taking up a variety of jobs in their daily lives, like fishing, breeding specialized guard dogs to fight Titans, breeding livestock, farming, builders, blacksmiths, scientists, gardeners, researchers, artificers, inventors, rangers, adventurers, hunters, beastmasters, warriors, and guards. Ruling over these people is the 4 leaders of the regions, Daveasour, Aveline, Bamuth, and Dolarcia. This page, however, is a work in progress. The only info we have is on Dolarcia. She's a bit of a wrathful, xenophobic ice queen with a staff. Domains. Absukians live in an amphibious lifestyle in large cities called domains ruled by leaders. These domains are divided into aquatic and terrestrial zones. Each city entrance is a staircase made of stone leading up to each massive domain. The domains then have 3 sets of bridges that connect to each of the regions, with both ends having archways leading all the way down to the north, west, and south regions. This is for transporting goods between the regions. The heavy lifting is all done by hauling the stuff in large carriages led by Umpuma. Umpuma are large herbivorous ungulates with a taper-like face. They're 7 feet tall, which is a little over 2 meters, and weigh 1,000 kilos. They're the most common species in Tormica. Technology. Tech in the Eastern Domain advanced in the future, but around a period called the Desperate Ages, tech was far behind in that domain where other tech advanced. During the Desperate Ages, the need for vehicles for transportation was refused by the leader Dolarcia, who decided to retract the ideas of invention made by inventors in this age. She thinks of it as a danger to the environment, lazy, and a waste of energy. Tech was pushed back in result. This caused an outbreak of protests and violence. But there were peaceful protests as well. They protested for vehicles that were accessible to everyone. The violence led to riots. Tech then advanced into the current Golden Moon era. Tech was equally difficult to advance in the other regions except for the West. The West was more advanced than the others, and had been using solar panels with great success due to their hot climate, quickly shifting from inefficient fossil fuels to the unmatched power of the sun. Dry silk technology. Kapandu plant. Ancient meteors that carried the first life to Tormica carried rare exotic substances. Only in these meteors grows a plant called Kipandu, which could be spun into silk that effortlessly dried on land after coming into contact with water. In the modern world, an Absukian adventurer named Natla found the remnants of the Kipandu plant in one of his expeditions into an ancient Absukian shrine. After researching it, he was able to synthesize it. This new dry silk isn't cheap though, and is limited to the rich, and is a status symbol for the wealthy and northern Absukians. The Beast Choker. 10 years ago, an explorer called Taruk found an artifact in a ruin hidden inside of a sphere-shaped chest. The object was called Kian Ma Takal, or the Beast Choker. Wearing this choker would transform the individual into a beast form. Researchers think the reason for this transformation is because of the gems laid in it. The choker doesn't just transform the host, but also transforms with the host, so that the choker doesn't choker them out, and only covers half of the gills. Those who wear it can go through physiological changes as well as psychological changes, but it doesn't appear to cause any long-term harm to the wearer's psyche. The choker also appears to only work on Absukians, and its purpose is still unknown. In this image, you can see Vivi, the daughter of Delarcia, wearing it, and apparently the main power of this thing is that it turns you hotter, like a werewolf version of a shark girl or something. Blue liquid. Blue liquid is a venom some Absukians can produce from their glands in their throats. The gland is used in combat and to protect themselves from predators. The venom can be thinned from saliva, making it possible to deliver it through bites. This bite can be lethal. With that, we have reached the end of our time with the Absukians. I've covered pretty much everything except for the unfinished things and the FAQ. I think the FAQ is only going to be relevant to those who decide to make a character, so you can just go to the website and check it out if that's something you're interested in. Here's how long it took me to make this video. If you appreciate the work I did, or like this video, please leave a like and comment something nice. It really helps my videos get seen, and if you want to show me even more thanks, you can use a super thanks in the comments to send me a one-time tip, or join the Patreon and YouTube memberships by clicking the join button below the video. This video was brought to you by the patrons. Patrons make videos like this possible, so special thanks to them and extra special thanks to Tier 2 and Tier 3 subs, like Colorado Blue, Ukulele Otter, Series, Romu, Linky, Vaderson, and Blonsk. Also thanks to Chew Chubsy, the species owner, who gave me the resources used to make this video, saving me even more time. Content like this just wouldn't be possible without their support. If you want to be a supporter, you can click the join button below or join the Patreon for even more benefits like early access videos like this one, movie nights, exclusive content that YouTube won't let me post, and secret Discord access and more, just starting at $1. Thank you everybody for watching, and bye-bye. The comment of the week is from Elliot, who said hello. Hi!
My